It's Rick without the K. James presents, in my opinion, podcast.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, as well as the notification bell. Thank you for watching.
I do comedy as well.
I picked up on that.
I've done comedy long enough, but I tell people I've had to transition over to this podcast. So I'm very thankful that you wanted to appear. I'm even more grateful because I'm hopefully about to sit back and learn some of the game. Right? I keep telling comics where they don't think this is a necessary evil. They think if you're funny, you'll be fine. And I'm like, not in today's age no more.
Well, it ain't even that. It wasn't in the. Look how long it took Bernie to get on. How many people funnier than Bernie? Man was 40 something when he did Kings of Comedy.
Yeah, I'm 40 something too, man.
But what I'm saying is, people go. But that's what I'm saying. People go. But that's for anybody who think, man, it's too late. Red Fox was older than that. Whatever he got his. The thing is, you can be funny or whatever, but at the end of the day, being seen is the name of the game. So you do what it takes to be seen. You do. If a podcast is the way you're going to be seen, Tiffany Haddish is huge, and she did stand-up comedy 20 years. But it was
one movie.
Went on one movie. Yeah. That one movie. Skyrocket's everything. Chris Tucker did Def Comedy Jam, all of that, but he got the movie. The movie changed everything.
And I just wanted to give you the flowers, and that's basically what I'm trying to do with this podcast. Is when I have comics that come on, I like to give flowers. And for you, it's the fact that I felt like there was like a Dane Cook and an Angela Johnson, right? And they both catapulted their careers. One because of her clip of the nail salon, and then Bon Qui and everything came. Dane Cook took his time. He was pretty much the person that, and of course there's Joe Rogan as well.
Kevin Hart built it on the internet, and a lot of people don't think of it that way either.
But now I see like an Andrew Schultz, and everybody's giving him his kudos.
Schultz.
And Schultz, man, I love Flagrant too. I love it. If I could get this man on a podcast just to pick his brain too. But I was like, sometimes I feel like Ryan Davis gets skipped over, and I'm like, you know.
I love it though.
So, and I was all, but I gotta give this man his kudos because you know, in the comedy realm, people are like, oh well, you know, they look at you as coming up through IG, and I'm like, no, I think the dude's been doing stand up, and he just realized, no, I gotta be on fucking Instagram, YouTube, and
I can't stand you're on social media. It's a necessary evil. That's what I'm saying. People are like, I don't like it. Do you want to do this or not? If you want to do this, this is the way the game is played. Like, you can still. I'm not saying you can't just do stand up and things won't happen for you, but it just depends on what your goal is.
Do you feel like this gives you? I feel like when you do stand-up and stand-up alone, you're waiting on everybody to give you that opportunity.
Yes.
But I feel like with this...
You're creating an opportunity.
Yes.
So if this turns out to be a gigantic podcast and iHeart comes at you, or Spotify comes at you, or just different brands, because you talk about food all the time. Who's to say a company won't come and go, okay, man, can you just sit my seasonings on your table? We'll pay you thousands of dollars just to put our seasonings on your table while you talk about food. That's a stream of money you never even thought about doing in comedy. You don't know what's out there for you until you go and get it. Everybody gets so stuck on an idea of what their career or their path is supposed to be. Just do everything you want to do, and the lane that opens for you is the lane you're supposed to go down. That's just the way it works.
You got started on IG or on YouTube? Or they kind of just coincided together?
I did YouTube in 2011 was the first time I posted something to YouTube. I didn't even have a Facebook yet.
And I tell people, I don't even know how to word this question, so I'll just kind of lead into it. Maybe you'll formulate the question for me. Is the fact that people act like we're going to do maybe 45 minutes here, and they think that's it. They don't see the time it took me to set up everything, the time it's going to take me to tear it down, the time it's going to take me to edit, the time it's going to take me just to take it off my SD card and upload it onto something so I can upload it onto a program, so that way I can edit the program. Like, you know what I mean? So I've even had the club ask me, they're like, hey, do you think we could do this? I'm like, go ahead and try. You know what I mean? Not to sound like that, but I'm like, you don't understand how
They'll
much.
They'll never know.
I was all, this is a full-time job. And for someone like me, I tell people, and I think this is where we're the same, is because I heard you were a pharmacy tech, right? Well, I'm a nurse during the day.
Okay.
Right? So my parents like act like this is a waste of time. Just go to work, get your shit out of the way, and stop doing this. Like, you can make more money. And I'm like, but I don't like being a nurse, especially through COVID.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm done. I've done this shit for over 20 years, and I'm done. I want to live what I want to do, not what you think is good for me.
And why don't people think that you can't make a career out of something you love? You can. That's the best career. That's the best career. Because you know how much money it takes working as a nurse for you to live comfortably or live happily, right?
Yes.
Let's say you made this much less doing comedy. Just this much less. How much happier would you be?
A lot.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
They always go back to the money because people don't understand passion and they don't understand love.
So
If I would have made less money, I was making significantly less in comedy than I was as a pharmacy tech whenever I quit. It wasn't even close.
But do you mind touching on the amount of time that you take, or at least took, in the beginning? Right now, do you still do everything yourself, or do you have a team?
No, I still do everything myself. But the funny thing is, and you're self-taught. You know what I mean? Nobody ever takes that into consideration.
Oh, no.
Being self-taught, all you do is make mistakes all through the beginning.
I tell people, you know what's funny is I just started putting up thumbnails on my YouTube.
Yeah.
And I was all, I already had over 150 videos when I figured out how to use the program to do the thumbnails.
Somebody just taught me how to do thumbnails.
I had to go do 150 fucking videos.
I didn't even know
thumbnails.
you could do thumbnails on Instagram. Somebody just taught me that. The thing is, they think you got to be an expert. No, you learn how to do what it is that you need to do. You can be self-taught. That made me laugh when everything blew up. I was I'm not gonna say the comic's name, but I talked to an older comic, a comic that's been in a long time, and they weren't selling anywhere near as many tickets as I was. But there was some people in the comedy game who respect me. So because I'm respected, they were like, "Oh, yeah, tell them to come through, to my show or whatever." I came through the show, and they were like, "Yeah, how'd you get to the place you in? You just talk shit in a phone on the internet?" Mm-hmm. I thought that was the most condescending shit I had ever heard. Because I was like, I research everything that I talk about. Everything that
You have to pull the clip.
Yeah, everything that I'm talking about, I'm finding clips, I'm finding pictures. And then I'm writing jokes to this, and then I have to find pictures and stuff that coincide with what I'm saying. And sometimes I have to use like Photoshop and everything. I have to teach myself how to Photoshop and everything just so I can get I might have to create the picture that coincides. I did a video recently about a woman, her hairline was receding, and I was like, but she had dreads, but her hairline was receding. And I was like, the lady, you're treating her like she's a predator. But then I actually took her head and posed it on the predator body. And I'm like, that picture isn't out there just to be found. I have to get her picture, get a picture of Predator, cut it out, shave it, everything, put it together, make sure it looks like it's whatever, and then take that overall picture and then put it in there and then edit it into the video to where it hits with the timing in order for it to get the laugh from the punchline and from the picture. All of that is working within the time. I did all of that to get one laugh in a video.
No.
And you're going, oh, you just talk shit on the internet into a phone. And I just really want to be like, nah, fuck you.
You were like less than 10 videos in when you started hitting them.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I hit quick.
I definitely have not found that. I haven't got. I've got
it was a timing
view
thing
times
because you're on YouTube, right?
But this is what I was going to ask.
Facebook did that for me.
Oh, Facebook did that.
It was Facebook.
See?
People weren't really killing it on Facebook in the video space. That was like me and Country
and
Wayne.
that I don't know how to use Facebook, and
that's what I'm saying. I was lucky in the fact that I chose Facebook I could have chose YouTube, and maybe it wouldn't have panned out the same way. Maybe it would have been bigger. Maybe if I started on Instagram, I would have been bigger.
I don't that know, though because
but I started on Facebook, and it was the right time. Facebook, people were not using Facebook as a way to grow their fan base from video. Nobody thought of Facebook that way. People thought of Facebook as, just a place where you get friends and you talk to your friends and y'all post stuff. It was just like sharing content, but nobody thought about...
So do you share that with like, you got a couple guys that are on the road with you now?
Yeah.
Do you guys all sit down and do a social media?
They understand the power of social media due to being with me. I don't think either one of those guys... They don't care about.
And I say that because a couple of reasons. Is one, I've always told another comic, like my boy Kabir Singh, who was just on America's Got Talent. I don't know if you know Kabir, but I told him, I was all, dude, if we went together and we did weekends together, I was all, you can do the stand up, I'll be your feature or whatever, but let me do the background video for you and show you how we can be. I said, during the weekend, when we ain't doing shit, because as a comedian, you travel, you don't do anything. What are you going to do? I said, let's shoot a podcast for an hour. And then that'll give me time. You can go bullshit, and I'll edit, I'll do. And nobody sees the value in it where you're just like, huh. And then it gets to the point where people are like, well, look at how many videos you have, and it hasn't hit yet. And I'm like, but I'm building my content. I said, where I did hear you say this. And I said, again, just because you've got one funny video, you have to keep following it up. I said, now that I have, if you started watching my videos now, you wouldn't be done till maybe Thursday or Friday. That's how much content I have up there.
Right.
And I said, so I don't care if I don't pop just yet. But when people find me and they realize
they're going to want to binge watch.
Yeah.
You got to have something to binge watch. That's what people don't understand. People see a video, they're like, this dude's hilarious.
So
he
can
has
you
nothing
touch
else,
on that just a
and
little
then
bit?
They move on.
Because as an older comic, we don't want to hear that. Like, dude, see, that's just a waste of time. Is it a waste of time or is it not?
You crazy. People see one video and then they'll click on the page. They're like, who did this come from? Especially since I do commentary. So they'll want to hear, they heard my opinion on this. They go, I wonder what else he's talking about. You go over and you see my opinion on all these things. And if I keep you laughing, you go, oh, I want to hear what the next thing is. Follow. I want to see everything he does from this point on. Even if people don't follow you, if you etch it in their mind enough, they've seen you enough, whenever you go tour, they see your face and go, oh, that's the dude from the videos. Yeah, I'll go see him. So it ain't even all the time. The follow ain't even it. Sometimes people follow you, a person will follow you, and you think that you got one follow, but really you got 20 people who know you are because they're probably taking your video and posting it in a group chat.
Post it somewhere else. Yeah. Because I think that's the other thing I'm having difficulties with is trying to get the followers, but I know people are watching shit. You know what I mean? So
as long as they're watching, just let them keep watching. Because this is the thing. Some people might be the type of people that goes, I just don't follow stuff. And this is the beauty of YouTube. Let's say I don't follow you. If I watch you a lot, as soon as I go to YouTube, your video is going to pop up, whether I follow you or not. So YouTube is keeping track on what I watch anyway.
Yeah.
Like if I go to YouTube right now, I might not even be subscribed to nobody. But as soon as I click on there, you'll know what I watch on YouTube because it'll be the first 7 videos will be people that I watch the most.
Because that's the way their algorithms are already built in.
It's already built in. So just because I may not subscribe to you, I don't mean I'm not a fan. I might go to YouTube hoping that something new is at the top.
Because I have that conversation, like I said, I have that conversation on a weekly basis with about Andrew Schultz. Because I'm like, he is on, and him and his whole crew. And I think that's where, that's where I came up. Yeah, him and his whole crew, like those guys get it. Like I see them post up their videos, and they've gotten better and better as they've learned too. Where one of his cats, fuck is his name? Is it Aaron but one of them has like a training seminar or whatever too that he basically taught himself, and now he's selling whatever he taught himself to other people. So I'm like, man, like there's so many different avenues to take this shit.
You know what's funny? You were talking about what you could have done for Kabir, right?
Yeah.
Me and Austin, my feature, have a Patreon called 301 Studios. Austin got the equipment. He learned how to edit. He does all the stuff. All I got to do is make content with him, shoot the podcast with him, make content that I was already going to make before. He literally does all the work. And we split the Patreon down the middle. And he makes 6 figures.
That's where I'm trying to get, man. That's what I'm trying to get to.
But that's what you're saying. When Kabir, if he doesn't see that, because this is the thing. Not only did he make 6 figures, I wasn't going to do this. I wasn't even going to do it. Now I've made an extra 6 figures in passive income because I trusted a guy, and we're on the road together. I like you, so we're going on the road together. We're hanging out.
If
and
any
everything.
other comics hear this and want somebody along with the ride,
You're missing out. He is so fucking valuable.
No.
You got to open an act that's going to do the job. You got somebody who's going to help you create content. You're going to be able to monetize the content. What are you... This dude is it's a walking... Listen, if y'all don't understand... That's the thing. People don't understand value. I do. I love me an old valuable motherfucker around me. I'm looking at your whole setup like, man, you've already done all the invested.
Yeah. And this
do y'all know how much all this shit would cost if it was just... He's done.
And not to include the computer. You know,
right.
I tell people I spent money on upgrading my computer to make sure it's working right.
I was like, y'all, man, he had custom, like.
Thank you.
That's custom. He's not playing. Like this is not.
This ain't a game. Man.
It's not a game.
This ain't a game. And
that's
thank
the
you for
thing.
at least noticing, man. I appreciate it. I can't tell you how grateful and how much gratitude I have.
But I love seeing a hustler like that. I love seeing a person who takes it seriously. There's too many people that aren't. But this is the thing. Let's say it does pop off for you, right? You're ready. There's so many people that they get popular and they don't know what to do. They're not ready. They don't know how to sustain it. They don't know whatever. You're doing the work that we're sustaining. It's
changed over for me too. I tell people where, like I said, COVID did help out. So I got better paying jobs because of COVID.
Yeah,
which allowed me to buy everything a little bit here, a little bit there, and try to get everything done. So that I'm thankful for, man. But it's just been a hard struggle. You know, I would love to continue this conversation off camera just to pick your brain a little bit because, you know, I just know how valuable what I'm trying to get done. And for someone who's been in that space that knows how much time it takes, won't blow it off. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you understand, damn, this motherfucker, you know, he's here on a Saturday night trying to get 45 minutes with me so he can do whatever he needs to do. And like I said, some comics just don't understand that where you know, it is what it is, and I don't want to come off like anything. I'm just saying I know
that
that
lost art though. A lot of people don't have work ethic anymore. Everybody's waiting to be chosen. No one's wanting to. One thing I've learned about people in general, people love to help a person they see trying. That's the thing. If you get a flat tire and you just stand outside with a flat tire, people be like, damn, that dude got a flat tire. But if they see you trying to change the tire, but you're struggling, they'll be like, let me help this dude.
That's true.
He look like he's struggling with
Unless
it.
it's a hot ass
but he's
girl.
trying, yeah. Nah, if it's a hot girl, it's two
then
things.
they're gonna stop.
Let me help her, or that shit look like a setup.
Boy, Charlie Murphy, my main man, Rick James. That's the one you think, the comedian Rick James. Get up.
I can't hear my neighbor crying, I can't breathe.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, as well as the notification bell. Thank you for watching.